Recently, a ship got stuck in the ice near Antarctica, the MV Akademik Shokalskiy. 52 people were stuck on it. Now, they have since been rescued, but some people believe that this represents far more than just a ship getting stuck in the ice. Let's listen to Fox Business host Stuart Varney.
All 52 of the passengers aboard the research vessel stranded in the Antarctic ice have been rescued. The ship, sent to the Antarctic to study climate change, has been stranded in the ice for 10 days. Attempts to rescue the passengers using icebreaker ships failed. Rescuers finally got through using a whopping great big helicopter that was landing on the supposedly very thin ice. They're all out, okay? So it looks to me like we're looking at global cooling. Forget this global warming. That's just my opinion.
Now,
that's just my opinion.
There's not a scientific fact.
Okay, obviously that was a stupid point to make, but I just find it so funny that that report was on Fox Business, right? Yeah. Why is it on Fox Business? Because Fox Business is looking out for big business. Let's deny climate change. Let's deny, global warming. Let's focus more on what we can do to help out the people that are funding us, right? And helping people that, make a ton of money off oil and coal.
Yeah. I love his point, though, that like the helicopter was able to land. You mean it's not just an inch thick? That's what the climate scientists have been saying, right? So just in case you don't actually know who Stuart Varney is because he's on Fox Business, which even conservatives don't really watch, a couple of other prominent or formerly prominent right-wingers have echoed a similar sort of idea. Donald Trump, who I think we might have actually banned, but he's going to slip through the cracks today. He tweeted out this very expensive global warming bullshit. I've got to stop. Our planet is freezing, record low temps, and our global warming scientists are stuck in ice. Norm Coleman, former governor, or senator, I believe, as I sit in my lake cabin, and yes, it is minus 33 outside, I do wonder if global warming died in 2013.
Oh my God.
Now, so Cara, you're a scientist. So I had always heard that climate change meant that every place on Earth simultaneously will get hotter minute by minute, right?
I think that's the way that it's supposed to work.
So,
I think so.
But this, it's not happening.
And my friend Alec Jha, who is he's a science correspondent for The Guardian, he was on this Antarctica trip. I've been kind of keeping up with what's going on, retweeting things, and trying to communicate about that. I sent him a tweet of Stuart Varney's rant earlier today. I thought he might appreciate it, since he was there, stuck on the ice. It's so stupid. This is what makes me so happy about this story, is that it's so stupid that everybody's laughing at this guy. Like, everybody's laughing at him.
Do you think that half the electorate is laughing at him now?
I think more people than ever in the past are laughing at Stuart Varney for being such an idiot.
I don't know, they're so insulated.
But he has an accent.
He does sound smart.
He sounds much smarter.
Bill O'Reilly just said a couple of weeks ago that you can't call him a coward because he covered 3 wars with this pen. Nobody talked about it the following week. That should be brought up every time his name comes up from now on. And Stuart Varney, just a month or 2 ago, said that the Pope should not be talking about capitalism because Americans aren't going to stand for religion mixing with politics. Because it takes a conservative to stand up for the separation of church and state.
Guy. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, even if there is still a large percentage of the electorate that believes that global warming is a hoax, or that knows that the globe is getting warmer but they don't think it's human caused, or whatever reason they've been kind of fed into this propaganda machine, when people make arguments like this, even they snicker. Even they laugh.
Well, Stuart Varney, so he sees a bunch of ice in Antarctica and he thinks, oh, there's got to be global cooling. He also thought that the ocean was overflowing because he went down to the beach at midnight. And he was like, what's going on? Somebody turn off the faucet. It's overflowing. That's just my opinion.
That's just my opinion.
And then he went back there at noon. He's like, someone's draining the ocean. What is wrong with these people and their shenanigans with the ocean level?
It's bad. It reminds me of when Bill O'Reilly was like, the tides come in, the tides come out. Nobody can explain this.
You can't explain it?
Nobody.
Oh, you say the moon? Well, how'd the moon get there? How'd the moon get there?
We normally have that clip ready to go in a moment.
Where'd the moon come from? How'd it get there? You can't explain it.
Tide goes out. Never a miscommunication. You can't explain that. You can explain why the tide goes in. Tide goes in, tide goes out. See, the water, the tide goes in, and it goes out, Mr. Silverman.
Maybe
it always
it's
comes in
on top of Mount Olympus who's making the tides go in.
No, but you can't explain that.
Bill
Love
Nye,
David
step
Silverman
aside.
too. Gotta say,
he's
I'm going to do a little
My
plug here.
favorite
I'm
face.
actually writing the foreword to his new book right now, so that'll be coming out soon. Yeah, very exciting. He's wonderful.
And so one other thing we want to cover, we've only got a little bit more time, but he alluded to, Stuart Varney alluded to global cooling, which you might hear conservatives say, well, yeah, everybody's so convinced global warming's happening now. 30 years ago, they all thought global cooling. Well, you're probably going to be addressed by that by one of your conservative friends at some point. So let's talk about this. A group of academics led by a guy named Peterson back in 2008 did a content analysis of academic studies on global cooling and global warming back during the supposed heyday of global cooling studies back between the 60s and 70s. Let's bring up that chart. Yeah, so even when it was supposedly such a big trend in science, global warming studies were far more common, and you can see that by the end of the 70s, massively more common.
So this is what happens when you do research, right? Yeah. When you find things out and learn information. So at the beginning of this conversation, we didn't have the tools available to us. We didn't have the satellite information. As soon as we started to say, oh, this may be a problem, let's collect data, analyze the data, and see what it tells us. Holy shit, the world is getting warmer. Yeah. That's what happened. We didn't know before, now we know.
I just wish we got past this ridiculous debate and focused more on what we can do to mitigate the effects of global warming, because it's obviously happening.
And we have a president who understands that.
Exactly.
We have a president who supports this, I mean, not even this view, who knows reality and supports a reality view. But we're just as bad as so many other countries.
Right,
Every
but
time
we got to take the lead. I mean, we were really the first to start polluting the shit out of the environment, right? And then other countries followed our lead. In order for us to point fingers to other countries like China, we have to be able to change our own behavior.
We do, because we've reached a place where there's a plateau. We're going to start seeing in kind of second world and developing nations where more and more people are able to eat meat, where more and more people are able to start driving cars. Yeah. We're going to see like massive explosions of these global warming causing gases being released into the atmosphere. We're kind of, I don't want to say we're at a level place now, but we're at a place where we can better, I think, estimate where our emissions are going to be in America. But I think that we're still going to see exponential growth in a lot of developing nations. That scares the shit out of me.
Yeah. Well, I'm not scared because God is going to decide when the earth ends, and when you think
that's
you're
true.
I don't care how smart of a scientist you are, you're not smarter than God.
And you know what's so scary is there are legitimate senators and congressmen who are serving on the House Science Committee who are saying things like, I'm not concerned about global climate change because there was only one flood. God promised after the flood during Noah's time that there would never be another flood, so I don't have to worry about it.
I don't even think that, I think religion is a veneer for people like that. I think it always comes down to the money. Who's funding them? And if they're being funded by coal and oil, then they're going to continue with their bullshit about how climate change is not real.